Fifth grade Excel lesson 130, solving word problems involving percent. All 10 of Ray's 10 shirts are green. What percent of his shirts are green? Well, all of something is anything. It's 100%. So 10 out of 10 makes 100%. The whole group is 100%, so the parts of the whole will always add up to 100 when using percent. 3/5 of Jill's 30 animals are cats. What percent of her animals are not cats? There are two different ways to solve this problem. First of all, you need to know that they're giving extraneous information, extra information to try to trick you. Oh, we have a studio audience here. Say hello, studio audience.
Hi!
There, okay. And what is the extra information in this problem? Okay, so what is the extra information that's not needed? 3/5 of Jill's 30 animals are cats. They want to know the percent. What do we not need to know?
3/5? No.
Well, 3/5 is a fraction, which is like a percent, right? We don't care that she has 30 animals. We don't care that she could have 1,000,000 animals, but they want to know what percent are cats. Doesn't matter how many animals she has, right? So 3/5 of the 30 animals, but they want to know what percent are not cats. So 2/5 are not cats, and we can change fifths. Percent means what? Out of 100. So we got to change this into out of 100. 5 times 20. 25. 5 times 20 is 100. So 2 20 is 40, right? So this is the percent. 2/5 is 40% because 2/5 is the same thing as 40 out of 100. So 40% are not cats. The other way to do it is to figure out what percentage are cats, which is 3 out of 5. Same thing, we multiply by 20, multiply by 20 gets 60. So 60% are cats, and 100 take away 60 is 40. And so that means 40% are not cats. Which way do you guys like the best, method 1 or method 2?
Method 1.
Method 1. I like method 1 too because you go straight to the answer instead of having to do a subtraction problem at the end. That one seems to be a little, whichever one's easier for you, you can use. All right, let's do one together and then you can do one on your own. 3/10 of Ed's 20 shirts are green. What percent of his shirts are not green? So what's the extra information that we don't care about?
20 shirts.
20 shirts, because all we need to know is that 3/10 are green. They want to know the percent that's not green. So what fraction should we start with?
3/10.
Well, we could, but that's what percent are green, and they want to know not green.
7/10.
So what fraction are not green?
7/10.
7/10. And how do I change that into a percent?
Times 10.
Times 10, because it's got to be out of 100. Good. So 7 times 10 is?
70.
So what's the answer?
70%.
70% are not green because 30% are green, right? All right, so you're going to pause the video, do number 2, turn it back on when you're ready to see the solution. All right, studio audience, here we go. Help me out. 1/4 of Claire's 32 hats are brown. What percent of her hats are not brown? So first of all, do they give us some extra information to try to trick us?
Yes.
What is the extra information?
32 hats.
32 hats. We don't care about that because we just want to change 1/4 into a percent, or in this situation, not really changing 1/4 into a percent because we want to know the not brown part, right? What fraction are not brown?
3/4.
3/4 is the percent. Now, is 3 out of 4 a percent? No, because percent is out of 100. So we're going to change this into a fraction that's out of 100. 4 times 25. Good. So the answer is 75%. Beautiful job. Thank you very much. All right, pause the video, do numbers 3, 4, and 5, and then turn it back on when you're ready for the solution. All right, what percent of Polly's 20 friends do not have green eyes if 8/10 have green eyes? So if 8/10 have green eyes, what fraction do not have green eyes? 2/10. What's that equal to in hundreds? 20 hundredths. That's pretty easy, right? So the answer is 20%. 3/20 have green eyes. So what fraction do not have green eyes? 17/20. What am I going to do with this number? Times 5 to get our 100, right? Can you do 17 times 5 in your head? 85. There we go. 85%. Half of the 20 have green eyes. So that means half do not have green eyes, right? So what is a half?
50%.
50%, right? 50 out of 100, 50%. All right, moving on. Says number 6, 40% of the 250 children at Maricella's school are under 10 years old. How many of the children at her school are less than 10 years old? It says 40% of 250 are under 10. So 40% we know is equal to 0.40. You guys already know that, right? Okay, so today we're learning that we're then going to multiply. Remember, the trick is anytime you see that percent sign in the problem, not the word percent, but the percent sign in the problem, a percent sign kind of looks like an X, and that's going to remind us that we're usually going to multiply when we see a percent sign. And so since you see the percent sign right here in the problem, notice we're multiplying. 250 times 0.40. That 0 is meaningless though, right? So we're doing 250 times 0.4. Move the decimal point over one spot. The answer is 100. So 100 children are less than 10 years old. Now, does that answer make sense? If 40% of them are under 10 and there's 250 kids, 40% is a little bit less than,
50.
which is
Half.
half. What's half of 250?
125.
Good, there we go. Some fourth graders know this. 125. So is 100 a little bit less than 125? That's the answer, makes sense. Like 40% is a little bit less than 50%, or half. Oh, come on. Keep going there. All right, here are a couple of problems like that. So I want you to pause the video, turn it back on when you're ready to see the solution to numbers 7 and 8. We're going to do 7 and 8. A store sold 65% of the 90 pounds of meat they had for sale. How many pounds of meat did they sell? They sold 65% of 90. Percent sign, what does that tell you you're going to probably do? Multiply, okay? So we have to first change 65% into a decimal. Good. What is 65% as a decimal? 0.65. Should we put that number on the top or the bottom? It's times 90. You really want to put it on the bottom?
No.
Let's put it on the top, right? Because then we can just put a 90 down here, stick the 0 down, and skip the first step. We go right to the answer. 5 times 9?
45.
Carry the?
4.
6 times 9?
54.
Plus 4?
58.
How many spots do I move over the decimal?
2.
What's the answer?
58.5.
What?
0. Pounds.
90 pounds, right? 58.5 pounds are sold. And again, think of this. What's half of 90?
45.
45. 65 is a little bit more than half, right? 50% is half. 45 is half. The answer is 58, which is a little bit more than 45. So that answer makes really good sense. 15% of the 30 gallons of water in Coy and Molly's fish tank splashed out while they were moving. How much water is still in the tank? Ooh, still in the tank. What percent would still be in the tank?
75.
If 15% spilled out, what percent's still in the tank? 85%. So we can do 85% as a decimal, right? Which is still in the tank. What?
Times 30.
Times 30. Notice which number I put on the bottom. The one that ends with a 0. It makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so I stick a 0 down to hold that place, and then I do 5 times 3 is?
15.
Carry the?
1.
8 times 3?
24.
Plus 1?
25.
How many spots do I move the decimal point over?
2.
What's the answer?
25.5 gallons.
Gallons, or gals. Yes. All right, 2 more problems. These are the last 2. Pause the video, turn it back on when you're ready for the solution to 9 and 10. All right, help me out here, studio audience. 60% of the 80 people at the community pool are in the water. How many people are in the water? What, am I going to use 60% or am I going to use 40%? 60 or 40? 60%, right? Because they want to know the in the water, and they gave us the percent that are in the water. What is 60% as a decimal? 0.6, right? Now be careful when you guys get to percent problems that say 6%. 6%, if 60% is equal to 0.6, is 6% equal to 0.6? No. 60 and 6 can't be the same thing. 6% is equal to 0.06. Watch out for that. A lot of kids mess up on that one. And if you're reaching consensus and your partner puts 0.6 and you put 0.06, they don't have the right answer. You need to let them know that they're doing it wrong and they do not match. Okay, that does not match at all. So we're going to do 80 times what?
0.6.
0.6. Notice we have a percent sign. We're multiplying here. 0 times 6.
0.
8 times 6.
48. 48.
Where's the decimal go?
2 spots. 1 spot. Between the 8 and the 0.
Hey, I like the way that Emma said that. Between the 8 and the 0. That makes it much more clear to say it that way. What's the answer?
48 people.
Could you get an answer that's a decimal?
No.
Can you get 48.3 people?
No.
Is there such a thing as 0.3 of a person? Probably not. Okay. 43% of 470-mile migration of a flock of birds is over water. 43% over water. How many miles do the birds fly over land? Land and water the same thing?
No.
Okay, so so we have to subtract. So 43% is over water, so what percent's over land?
47.
Is 47 plus 43 100?
No.
What's the answer?
57.
50, oh, some kids know how to do their subtraction. That's good. 57. So we're going to do 470 what? Times 57? 0.57. Good. All right, this is going to take us a few more steps. Help me out, studio audience.
7 times 7, 49.
0, 49.
36 plus 4 is 40.
4 times 7,
32.
32. What do I need here? 0. Good. Scribble this out. Now I get to start my problem. 470 times 5 right here. 0.
35. Carry the 3. 23.
Now, instead of writing it and then writing it, I'm just going to bring it straight down on the line, okay, as my answer. Remember, the line is reserved always for your answer only. I've got a lot of kids lately that are showing their work. They're reducing on the line. They're showing how to get the answer on the line. The line is only for your answers. You have to save that spot for answers. But I can go straight to the line with my answer. That's fine. So I got a 0. What's next? 9.
7, 6, 2.
Okay, now how far am I going to move my decimal point over? 2 spots, right? So 267.9 what? Miles. Can you have 0.9 of a mile?
Yes.
Oh, you sure can. Thank you for watching.